To argue that the current extinction event could be averted if people just cared more and were willing to make more sacrifices is not wrong exactly. Still, it misses the point. It doesn't much matter whether people care or don't care. What matters is that people change the world. This capacity predates modernity. This is the idea that Elizabeth Kolbert fights for in her book, The Sixth Extinction, An Unnatural History. Is the Earth undergoing the sixth extinction of all species on Earth? This is the very question that Kolbert is determined to answer. Something important to be aware of is that there have been 5 great mass extinctions. The end of the Ordovician period wiped out 60% of terrestrial and marine life. Then, 360 million years ago, the late Devonian period exterminated all of the nurtured reef areas, bringing out the second mass extinction. Next, we have the end of the Permian period. This fossil record reveals 80 to 95% of all marine species gone. Then there's the Triassic mass extinction that took half of marine invertebrates and over 3/4 of land quadrupeds. Lastly, there was the end of the dinosaurs in the Cretaceous period. The sixth extinction, however, is believed to be upon us, and man may even be the cause of it. We need to ask ourselves, though, with these several mass extinctions, how are organisms able to advance? This answer comes from the first big idea in biology. The process of evolution drives the diversity and unity of life. Kolbert receives many of her ideas from former scientists. Charles Darwin inspires her, and he would discuss the process of evolution through his theory of natural selection. This relies on the belief that each new species has evolved in order to have advantage over its competition, leading the less favored species to become extinct. This comes from the enduring understanding that change in the genetic makeup of a population over time is evolution. Then we come to the conclusion that somewhere in our DNA is a mutation that sets us apart from our closest relatives who were not humans. This shows the understanding that organisms are linked by lines of descent from common ancestry and change to adapt to their external environment. While we're on the subject of adapting to environments, let's talk about our next big idea. Biological systems utilize free energy and molecular building blocks to grow, to reproduce, and to maintain dynamic homeostasis. It is said that most species on Earth live in the tropics, but why is this? Well, the tropical areas have relatively stable temperatures, which forces the organisms who live there to stay there because they are not suited to survive in other areas where the temperatures change. Also, the hills and valleys in the tropics cause for dramatic climate change, and once a species adapts to a certain area in the tropics, they don't move, allowing populations to be isolated and to thrive. This relates to the enduring understanding that organisms use feedback mechanisms to regulate growth and reproduction and to maintain dynamic homeostasis. From here, they can stabilize their internal environments and respond to their external environments. Now, let's move on to the last big idea that we will discuss in this presentation. Biological systems interact, and these systems and their interactions possess complex properties. Kolbert acknowledges how every part of an organism fits together so that they are each designed for their particular ways of life. This follows the enduring understanding that states how interactions within biological systems lead to complex properties. For example, carnivores need jaws and teeth constructed to tear apart at their prey, a digestive system and other organs for pursuing and catching it, and organs to sense their prey from far distances. Now, let's go back to our original question. Is the Earth undergoing the sixth extinction of all species on Earth? As Kolbert researches through historical data, explores theories in tropical regions where extinction is occurring, she starts to learn what is causing this current mass extinction and discovers that the same thing was behind mass extinctions in the past. Man is made to advance, and in doing so, he has since the beginning of his existence negatively impacted the lives of other species. Global warming, mainly caused by man, is leaving the oceans poisoned, which presents a grave threat to coral reefs, meaning all other marine life will be affected too. Elizabeth Kolbert states, "Though it might be nice to imagine there once was a time when man lived in harmony with nature, it's not clear that he ever really did. So please remember, if these terrible actions by man are not stopped, it will lead to the extinction of other species on land and in the air, the sixth extinction."